Look at this. I am telling you. Man, look at those noodles. It's Korean beef with noodles. Oh man, you want to see this? Stick around, I'll show you how to make it. Oh. Oh. You gotta try this one. Hey everybody, hope you're having an awesome day. I know I am. So a while back on my community page I posted some recipes, asked people's opinion on what they wanted to see cooked next. So one of the things they did was they said they wanted to see the Keto Korean Beef. So that's what I'm going to cook today. Hopefully that's something you're interested in. If you love Korean beef with noodles, stick around and I'm going to show you how you can eat some Korean beef with noodles on keto and have a great meal. So stick around. I think you're going to enjoy it. So, all right, I'm going to adjust the camera as we get ready here so that we can start cooking. So first thing I'm going to do is mix some sauce. We'll go through what I'm going to mix in the sauce and how I'm going to make the sauce, and then we're going to go ahead and cook our beef, right? I will say, so this recipe, I'm going to use hamburger in it, ground beef in it. So if you want to make bulgogi and use beef strips, you can use the same sauce in it, and it cooks very similar, almost identical. So you could switch the recipe up for that if you want to make the bulgogi. So all right, here we go. I'm going to adjust the camera and let's get. All right, so here we go. So what I did was I'm instead of using soy sauce, what I'm doing is I'm going to use some liquid amino. I used the rest of the coconut amino that I had, and then I put in some of the Bragg's liquid amino. So that's what I'm using for the base of this sauce. I'll put that down in here. So I'm going to make 2 pounds of ground beef in here, so I'm going to double the recipe a little bit here. So you're going to see me put in a half a cup of here, whereas if you were just making a standard one, you would use a 1/4 cup. And the recipe that I'll post down below will be just for a standard 1 pound amount of this beef. So then again, I'm going to use some of the allulose. Yeah, some of the lantana brown monk fruit sweetener. So that's what I'm going to use with the erythritol. This is the brown. I like it because it really sticks together and it really is a lot like brown sugar. So I'm going to mix that in with it. Then I have an allulose blend that I'm going to use from Trader Joe's. That's what I'm going to put in next, just because I needed it quick and I didn't have a chance to order it. So I'm going to put that in there. This I'm putting in, the allulose, is going to be 2 tablespoons. Now again, I'm not the sweetest person, so I'm kind of going easy on the sugar, so on the sweeteners. So if you want to put more sweeteners in there, you can. The next thing I'm going to put in here is the pure sesame oil. I'm going to put that in here. That's next. And the pure sesame oil is 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to pour that in here. Get all that goodness in. And of course, we got to have it a little bit spicy, so we're going to put some Frank's Red Hot in it to get it to have a nice spice to it. So this Frank Red Hot is 2 tablespoons. Now again, if I should have probably put 4 in there, because that would have been, if I doubled the recipe, that's what I normally would. I want it hot, but I don't want it too hot. So, and then I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. I did the same thing with the ginger just because of the fact ginger could be pretty strong. So, did that. And then we're going to take some, I'm going to use some of this minced garlic. And I use this minced garlic that's all pre-made. And this one actually it comes in olive oil. So, so it's actually got a nice oil with it, right? So, this, I'm going to put this in, and this is equal to 2 cloves. So 1 teaspoon equals 1 clove when you buy it all pre-minced like this. So throw that in there. And then we're going to season to your liking, and this is just some crushed red peppers. So And it's really seasoned to what you think you'd like. Remember, these are pretty powerful, so I would go easy on them. Fork's behind me. And all we're going to do is we're going to just stir and blend all this stuff up, all this goodness up. And then once we get this all stirred up, we're going to set this aside, and then we're going to get our meat going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear off some space here. I'll be right back once I get this space off. We're going to adjust the camera a little bit so it's over onto the pan a little bit more, and then we will start the meat up, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, we're back. We're going to put in, I got a couple tablespoons of coconut oil. I'm going to put in here, and we're going to melt this in a pan. So instead of butter, we're going to use the coconut oil just to give it that good flavor. And it won't take long for this to melt and get really hot. This pan is pretty warm to start with, so hopefully it's good. Get that all going, get this hot. Hey, if you have suggestions what you want to see cooked next, let me know down in the comments down below. What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite dinner food? Or your favorite dessert foods, or your favorite breakfast food? And see if I can come up with my own version of it, or adapt a version. So this is cooking pretty good now. The heat's coming off of it. It's pretty warm. So I'm going to take, like I said, I have 2 pounds of ground beef here. I'm going to take this. Throw it up in there. I'm going to break it into chunks. Now this will get enough out of here. So we'll use this as part of our meal prepping for the week. So we will get enough out of this for a meal tonight, and at least one other meal, if not 2 other meals. There should be about 6 to 8 servings in here. So like I said, 2 tonight, and 2 another night, and 2 one other night. So we got the meat in here and it's cooking away. I will going to season it just a little bit. So I'm going to throw some salt in on it. Just because you can never have your meat too well salted. And that's all there is to it. And we're going to just kind of mix this up and cook it. So we'll come back here in a minute. I'll show you when the meat is all cooked, and we'll show you the next steps once we get to that point. It should take the meat about, 7 to 10 minutes to cook. You want to make sure you cook it thoroughly because it is hamburger. Again, if you wanted to make bulgogi, all you do is take some steak and cut it into strips, and then just kind of cook it up in the same fashion. So identical way, instead of using ground beef. Just with today, with the prices and everything else, we had a bunch of ground beef, so that's what we're using. It's low cost. It's actually really good. And kind of nice and easy to eat. So, alright, we'll come back here in a few minutes once this is cooked, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Alright, so this is cooking up very nicely. I think it's pretty much done. I don't think there was anything inventive about cooking hamburger or ground beef. I'm not going to drain the grease or the oil on it, and I'm not going to do that because of the fact if you do that, it tends to sometimes dry the meat out. So I'm going to mix it in, and then go from there. So this is all ready. This is done, cooked all the way through. I'm going to take this. This is our sauce that we made earlier. So I'm going to mix it up pretty good, make sure it's in there, then I'm going to pour it in here. Try to get it around, and we're going to stir it all in. Then we actually have some green onions growing out on a patio, so we took a little bit of the onions. We're going to sprinkle that in here. Oh, maybe I won't sprinkle in there. So we're going to put those onions in here to get a little bold flavor. Then we're going to mix that all around. Smells good. Oop, oop. Smells really, really good. So we're going to mix this all in, get all the soy sauce and all that sesame oil, everything mixed in with it. Get really nice, really good. Get all that flavor stewing around. And we're going to let this heat up a little bit. Now, I will say, this is a great, great time for you guys to sit there and turn around and hit that thumbs up, right? And subscribe down below. I guess it'd go like this, right? Subscribe down below, and then hit that little bell icon so that in the future videos you see what else is coming. You know, please go down and check out the links down below. I put all the stuff that I cook with. All the appliances like this hot pat, you'll see me do some of the pots and pans. You'll see all kinds of stuff down in there that I cook with. You know, it's a great way to help the channel out if you buy it through there, because I do get a couple of percent, a little bit of the sales, and it costs you exactly the same if you buy it off of that or, you know, on your own. So it's a great way to show your support for the channel, right? And I really, really appreciate it. So we're going to let this stew for a few minutes. We're going to come back, and then we're going to talk about, because actually I got the noodles to go in here yet. A couple of trains of thoughts on the noodles. So I'm going to let this cook, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about the noodles. All right, so we'll see you in about a second or two. All right, so I think this is done. I got to be honest with you, I taste tested it. The meat tastes really, really good. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out of here, though. Just because we're going to do a couple different things with it. But like I said, we did a double batch of this. So I'm going to take about half of it out, because we're going to actually serve this up a couple different ways. I'm going to get some of that juice in it. All right. That juice has really, really good flavor in it. Again, I didn't drain the ground beef off. If you want to drain it off, great. It depends on whether you're doing keto or whether you're just doing low carb or what you're doing. If you're watching the fats, you may want to drain it off. I did not, just because of the fact I'm going keto, and the fats, as far as I'm concerned, is good for you, and it has a lot of the flavor and taste in it. So I'm going to drain this off like this. Now, like I said, we're going to plate this two different ways, and one of the ways is we're going to talk a little bit about the noodles that we're going to use today. So I'm going to use Miracle noodles. So if you've never used them before, they're made from a shiitake plant, shiitake noodles, which is a kojak plant. And this is nothing but the kojak flour and citrus acid, just to preservatives and water. So all I do, and I found out they've changed the formula on them, because they used to smell really bad when you open them. And now they smell pretty good. They don't smell at all, right? So what you do is you open them off, you open it up, put it in a strainer, much like this. And then you wash them really, really good. And after you wash them, you know, they're pretty clean and they taste really good. Now, if you don't want to use these, if you don't care for the noodles, I will tell you these are super, super low carb. If you can see them on here, I don't know whether you can see that or not. But 5 total carbs. So that means that there's 2 servings in this package. So 1 serving. So if you're doing Weight Watchers or watching calories, this whole package of noodles is only 10 carbs. So compare that to regular spaghetti, right? So, and then in here, if you're measuring total carbs, is 3 total carbs per serving. So that's this whole package is 6 total carbs. There's 2 fiber per serving. So that means that the whole package has 4 fiber in it. So that means there's 2 net carbs per package in one of these. So you can't beat that for noodles if you wanted to. So, but that's the option that I'm going with today. The other option that I do go with occasionally, and when I'm having spaghetti and stuff, is this here. It's a plant-based alternative. This is the Hearts of Palm. We use these quite a bit. This one actually came from Costco, but I have some in the description down below that I order pretty regularly from Amazon. These are really, really good too. These are a little bit higher in carbs, and the calories in them is 20 per serving. And there's 2 servings in this container. The carbs in this are 4, so 9 in it, and then the dietary fiber is 2. Here, I'll let you see the label on it so you can see it. So it's a great alternative as well. And then of course, if you really want, you can go with zucchini noodles. You can go with any kind of other noodles. So like I said, I'm going to plate this 2 different ways. You could take this and put it on here. These are all washed, ready to eat, ready to go. Because all you do is clean them off. So, and you could just take and put some of this on here. And I would say you definitely want to get some of that oil and some of that soy sauce, or that pretend soy sauce, I guess you'd call it, right? You'd really want to get some of that on here, right? So it looks like this. And then the other alternative is, if you want to, you can just take it, and this is actually probably a great one as well for most folks, except if you lose your fork like that, I mean your spoon. I'm going to pour the noodles right in this, and then I'm just going to mix the noodles in. This way here, the noodles will absorb a lot of the flavor. They'll absorb a lot of the liquid. They'll cook in. They'll be hot. Now the thing about the shiitake noodles, they actually kind of look a lot like rice noodles. So they're really, really good for, like I say, especially anything Asian. Dishes and stuff of that nature that require noodles. They're really, really interesting to eat and taste. Now again, if you eat them by themselves, there's not a lot of taste to them, but if you mix them in with spaghetti sauce or some other kind of sauce, that's all there is to this. I'm going to get another plate just because we're going to take a couple of pictures here. Gotta get those thumbnails. So we're just gonna get those in there mixed in good. See how it absorbs some of that oil and stuff like that, and absorbs some of that soy sauce, and I guess it's the amino acids, right? All right, let's go and put some of this on a plate. Alright, let me adjust the camera up here, and we'll come back and we'll do the taste test, and we'll go through the macros on them and see what we think. I think that it looks pretty good. Alright, we plated them 2 different ways. Like I said, you see both of them here. It's really up to you how you do it. I would say these ones, the noodles absorbed a lot of the amino acids and some of the other flavors from the sauce, whereas this one actually looks prettier. And I did put a little bit of toasted, so you know, I did put some little bit of toasted sesame on the top as well, just to kind of make it look prettier. I'm not sure what will give it any taste. So again, that's what this one looks like. That's what that one looks like. So the noodles on this ones are a little bit browner, whereas this one's a little bit white. All right, let's try to get this taste. Let's try to get some of that hamburger in here. I like it. I like it a lot. So, hey, this is really, really good. I'm going to taste this one. I think I'm going to twirl it like spaghetti this time. Get a good piece of beef on here. Or two. That keeps falling off. I think this one actually tastes a little better with the noodles. Put it in. This is really, really good. I really, really like this. So, I really, really like it. So, good stuff. So, again, so this is my recipe. So I did cook 2 ground pieces of ground beef in it versus 1. So 1 piece of ground beef would make a quarter of the recipe. So a quarter of the recipe. So in this case, what we made here, and what's back there in the pan, I moved the pan back to the stove, so so it's out of the way. It comes out to that, you know. So this is eight servings, or 1/8 of the recipe that I made. So the recipe that I'm going to post down below in the links will be 1/4. So total calories in this would be 450 in it. The fat in it would be about 29. Total carbs in it would be 7. The fiber in it would be about 2. And the protein would be about 29. So pretty good, you know, pretty good meal. 7 total carbs for dinner. That's a really good meal. So, you know, hopefully you try it. Let me know what you think. You know, if you want to see something else, you like this, the Korean, maybe make bulgogi or something else next. You know, if you try it, let me know. If you use the recipe, if you use the sauce and make bulgogi, let me know what you think. Is it worthwhile for me to do it or not? I really liked it. It's really good. I think it's a recipe worth making. It's quick, it's easy, and again, we will have enough now for tonight for dinner, for probably Monday night for dinner, and maybe Wednesday night for dinner. So we kind of plan it out like that. So, and then when we cook tomorrow, we will have for Sunday night dinner, and then that'll be Tuesday night dinner, and then Thursday night dinner, and then usually Friday night, usually we stop and get something quick and easy, just for a change for the week. So that's part of the meal prepping for the week. It really helps us stay on track, helps us with our weights and keeping track of what we're eating and whether we're eating good or bad or whatever else. So hey, if you like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. You know, hit that little bell icon over here. You know, subscribe over here. And don't forget to watch this video, or watch the video up there. And remember, you guys are awesome. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to each other. Smile and be good. We'll talk.